Hello again. I have been enjoying just relaxing during my summer quite a lot, but I have been wanting to do this video for months now because I keep accumulating more and more records and I just feel like I need to release them to the YouTube. I need to show them off. So I have so many records that I'm really excited about and I'm just like blown away by that I've collected in the recent months. So I'm really excited today to let you in on what I've been collecting and what I've been listening to recently through this last season, I guess. It's been so long that I've actually collected quite a little bit of records. Usually if it's a whole video, I will talk about like 5 to 10 records, maybe tops, but today I have 15 records plus a couple CDs, so there's a lot to go through. Firstly, I want to get into some records that I ordered a very long time ago, probably in like August or September, and those records are 3 2020 records that have really stuck with me and are probably now my top 3 records from that year, apart from maybe The Strokes. And I finally got around to ordering these records nearly at the end of 2021. Firstly, a record that has been on my table, that's been spinning on the table non-stop pretty much. If I ever just like feel like I want to listen to something but I'm not sure what to throw on, I throw this record on, and that would be Adrienne Lenker's Songs and Instrumentals. I did not realize that this was a record when I filmed my favorite 2020 albums video at the end of 2020. I had not discovered this album yet, and I randomly came across it on Spotify. Like Spotify randomly put on a song from it, and I fell in love when I listened to this record for the first time. Like, it was an instant classic for me, and ever since I've only loved it more and more. So Adrienne is like folk singer-songwriter, indie, alternative style. So yeah, very laid back, very chill. I think she recorded everything not digitally. She recorded onto like a tape, like in a cabin in the woods somewhere, and then she threw it onto a record, and here we are. It feels very genuine. It feels really raw and authentic when you listen to it. You feel like she's right there, and you feel like that with any record you listen to. You're always like, wow, they sound like they're right there, but she really sounds like she's whispering into your ear, singing you sad love songs, and I'm down with it. This is like a go-to record for me right now with what's spinning. I'm absolutely in love with it. I love the album artwork as well, and this is like the double LP where you have the actual album, which is songs, but you've also got instrumentals, which is the other album, but this is like both of them combined. I don't really like Adrienne's older stuff. This is really the only music by her that I gravitate towards. I hope that she keeps going in this direction because I'm really loving it. This is music that's made for me pretty much. So let's hope me and Adrienne keep going ahead on the same path and she keeps creating music that I love, because I will just keep supporting everything she does if it's anything like this. All right, next record is, okay, it's Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats. This is a album that's produced by Kenny Beats. All the rapping and MCing is Denzel Curry, and I'm in love with it. It's called Unlocked, and I probably also listen to this album quite a lot. Maybe not so much on vinyl. I really would like to listen to this record a bit more. I'm at least having one song off this album on the shuffle. Like, it always comes on. I'm always bopping along. It's so much fun. Like, I just love this album. It's so good. I can dance to this. I can rap to this. I can just jive to it. Like, it's so good. I've always loved Kenny's production. Like, I've been a Rico Nasty and Kenny Beats fan since their collab came out a while back. I love Kenny's like The Cave series on YouTube, and Denzel I'm not as much of a fan of up until this point. And once I discovered this album and his style of rapping, I can't go back. Like, I don't know how to enjoy anyone else's rapping anymore, because his rapping is, it's just like on another level. It's so energetic, it's so rough. Denzel in this album reminds me of like me drunk. This is like 2 different moods, like the 2 different sides of my personality actually right now. So yeah, 2 albums that I've loved from 2020. And the final album that I absolutely love from 2020, of course, is my favorite album of 2020. Adrienne Lenker is honestly up there, like nearly beat this album, but I still think this is my favorite album of 2020, and it is How I'm Feeling Now by Charli XCX. Charli's great. Charlie's awesome, we all know that, and I really love this album. I think once again this is like an album from an artist where I've never connected so much to something she's put out as I have this album, so it's amazing to be discovering music in 2020 from artists that are like grabbing my attention, which they've done music before and it didn't grab my attention as much, but now they're just reaching new heights for me where I'm like, wow. So Charlie is one of those artists along with Adrienne. Charlie is more like industrial. I love watching myself try to explain what music is. Industrial, electronica, pop. Am I correct? I love so many songs off this. Nearly all the songs on this album I'm a fan of. She created it during quarantine, so it really captures 2020 for me as well. I love this album. So those are the first bunch of albums I got as a bunch out of all these records I'm about to show today in this video. And now I want to quickly jump over to a couple of CDs I got actually while I was shopping for records for people. Not me. You always have to buy something for yourself, but I didn't want to like splurge on some records at that time, so I was like, let me buy some CDs. So I got 2 CDs. Firstly, I got a CD, it's The Sound of the Smiths, and the reason I got the CD was actually like, I believe my mum or dad used to have like the best of the Smiths or the Sounds of the Smiths, like a CD just like this when I was younger, and I really loved it, listening to it in the car and listening to it on the CD players I used to have. I don't have any CD players anymore, so that's a problem. I need to get one so I can listen to this thing. But back in the day, I used to have like a little Walkman, which was sort of funny, and I used to listen to CDs a lot, and I remember I used to love the compilations of the Smiths. I'm definitely more of a compilations girl when it comes to the Smiths. Like, I love some of their albums, but nothing hits as hard as a Smiths compilation, just because they had so many good hits throughout the years, and you just combine them all and it's too good. Obviously my mind goes towards Hatful of Hollow, which is like my favorite compilation album of all time and is in my top 5 albums of all time. I really love Hatful of Hollow, but I also really like these CDs. Time to add this to the collection. I want to start collecting CDs again because I did grow up during the CD era, like the 2000s CDs, that's where it was at for me. I've been ignoring CDs for a little bit as I just love records way too much. And then the other album I got, which also is another album that I discovered and I listened to and loved during my CD era from like 5 to 15, I would like to say, is the Hives Black and White album. I love this album. Does anyone else like the Hives? Their older stuff, like those first few albums, I think there's one album that's sort of bad, but okay, this is like really specific information. Older stuff is better. I don't know what happened. I never found anyone else that liked the Hives apart from me and my dad, because my dad is like the one that showed me this music. I think my siblings really like them too, but is there anyone else that likes this band? I'm sure there is. I don't want to act all like, I'm the only one like the Hives. I don't even think they're geniuses when it comes to music. I just think they're fun. You know what I mean? I just love listening to them. I think they're a good time. They're so fun to scream to and to dance around to. Garage rock, I guess, is what you would call it. But yeah, does anyone else like this band? I love the Black and White album. I used to listen to this religiously when I was like 12 years old. I would make up dance routines to the songs. Like, I was in it. I was like a Hives girl. The Black and White album, really, really fun. And something that I wanted to have in my collection. I don't particularly want the vinyl. I don't feel like I need to listen to that album on vinyl, if that makes sense, but I would love to listen to it on CD. I don't know what particularly makes something a CD or a vinyl album, but there seems to be some type of distinguishment in my head somewhere. So the next few albums I'm going to show are presents. I don't know as much about them because I didn't seek them out myself, but I still want to show them off and like, you know, if anyone's got some opinions about them, let me know because I would love to know more about these and I want to listen to them and know what I'm doing. So the first album is... it is High Voltage, right? Yeah, High Voltage by AC/DC or Akadaka is what I call them. And obviously this shirt is also going with this album because both of them were a birthday present from one of my long-term subscribers, Victor. So thank you very much, Victor, for sending me these presents. I love them so much. I wanted to wear this t-shirt for when I show off this record because it just looks so fun together. It looks so good. My birthday was like 2 months ago, so shows how often I film a video, doesn't it? I listened to a couple of songs from this album over on my reaction channel, really enjoyed them. I mean, they're Australian. I just Like, of course I'm gonna like them. Victor was pretty excited that I liked them and wanted to send me this record, obviously. So I'm so excited to have this and to listen to the rest of the album. And it's my first Akadaka album in my collection. Let's go. And essentially I would just love to collect some records in relation to that channel, because I mean, that channel is like very dear to my heart. I can't wait to release more reaction videos next year. I'm really enjoying the journey. I am starting to love hard rock and metal music like so much, and so it's just fun to be collecting the records as well along with my journey over there. So thank you so much, Victor. I really appreciate it, and I had a lovely birthday 2 months ago. I got another 2 records also for my birthday. So firstly, one of my best friends got me this record as a birthday present, and it is the Porco Rosso soundtrack by Joe Hisaishi, my favorite composer. So I already have the Spirited Away soundtrack, and now I've also got the Porco Rosso one, which is great because Porco Rosso is actually my favorite Miyazaki movie, which is the movies that Joe Hisaishi does the soundtracks for. They're all like these anime movies from Japan, if you don't know. They're Studio Ghibli. I did a like favorite Miyazaki movies in order video like a while ago on the channel, which I'll link up in the top corner, and Porco Rosso, spoiler alert, is number 1. I love this movie so much. So I think she randomly came across this when she was just looking at a record store, and she was like, damn, Kira's birthday's coming up, let's go. Perfect present, here it is. And it really is. Like, I love the Obi strip. Once again, it is just a beautiful little record. Actually, let me get this out because I would like to look at it. It's not a gatefold like the Spirited Away one. I think it's just the one insert. Wow, oh my God. Yes. Dude, just put any Miyazaki artwork on a record and it will be my favorite record of all time. Of course, one day I would love to collect all these records. That would be a huge goal of mine because they are expensive. They're like 100 AUD right now, I think. A lot of them just came out recently. I don't know if this one came out. Oh my God, now it's not going back in. I hate that. Seriously? What is that? Since when? What is happening down there? Okay. Yeah, I would love to collect all these records one day. Big goal of mine. Will it happen? Probably. Depending on my finances. Honestly, collecting all of them, it's gonna be like a $1,000 to $2,000 job because they're $100 each. It's a lot of money to sink into something, you know? Okay, anyway, I do want to do it. I really want to have the Joe Hisaishi collection. I want it to be complete. He is such an integral part of my music taste. So yeah, I'm very excited to listen to this. I listened to the Spirited Away one for the first time on this channel in a video. I filmed it. I would love to do another like listen to my vinyl with me video. So I think I'll try and do more of those in the future. Maybe this one will pop up on it because it was so nice to listen to Joe Hisaishi on the, like it's so clear and beautiful on the record. I want to rewatch this movie right now, actually. I always want to rewatch this movie. Okay, and then the last record I got from another friend for my birthday was Leaders of the Pack. And I think this is a compilation album of older music that I don't really know much about, honestly. You've got the Angels, the Box Tops, Shirelles, Crystals, Chiffons, the Drifters, the Exciters, the Diamonds, Dixie Cups, Shangri-Las. I don't really know any of this music. I'm excited to give it a listen because any new music is fun for me to listen to. Honestly, I get so bored of music, apart from Radiohead. Actually, I even get sick of Radiohead. I actually am in such a new music mood right now, currently, during summer. I really want to listen to new music, and then it's annoying because I literally have this record and it's new music I never heard before and I would love to listen to it, but my record player is in storage. And then we jump quickly into the free records that I got in my last video. I'm gonna obviously not go through them as much in detail because you can just watch my last video if you want to see me buy these. So check it out if you want. But the free records I bought from that video were firstly Idol's Brutalism. Like I said in that video, Idols is like my new favorite band. Like honestly, they're on that level. I think they're in my top like 10. They just reached it so quickly. I'm so surprised and I'm just in love with this band. Their new album, update on the last video. I'm loving the new album now. Like Ballroom, Beachland Ballroom I think it's called. That song is honestly my favorite song of last year, I think. I'm not gonna do a video about it, like my favorite songs, my favorite albums, but Beachland Ballroom by the Idols. I love that song so much. Got that one. That is their debut album by Idols, and I also got Bon Iver's Bon Iver, and this is Bon Iver's second album after their debut, which I really, really love, so I wanted to get their second one as well and start adding to that collection. And I also got Deep Purple in Rock because this is an album I want to react to over on my other channel, my reaction channel. So yeah, this is a must listen, apparently. Next, I bought 2 albums brand new. I've really been splurging. I think like, essentially, I went on break and I was like, my bank account also gets a break. It can do whatever it wants. And then I've just been spending so much money. So firstly, I got Portishead's Dummy, right? Yeah. I always have to double check, but I'm always right. This album is apparently also a must listen. Oh my God, I actually don't know what genre this is. From random atmospheres and vibes in my life, I feel like this is probably like chilled out, mellow, electronic, alternative 90s. That's what's coming to me. I'm now a psychic, apparently. What I do know is that it is like a must listen, that I'm gonna love it, apparently. I'm really excited to listen to it, and I'm hoping to do a reaction to this album also over on my other channel. I would like to branch out to other genres. Yes, don't kill me. I'm very excited to listen to this. Like, I honestly feel like this is gonna become a new favorite of mine. I have really high expectations. Someone lower them actually, please, because I've set myself up for failure just by having too high expectations. But I've just heard so many good things about Portishead and Dummy specifically, so I hope I like it. And then I also got, of course, I got this. I saw it and 40 bucks, why not? First-hand Pulp Fiction soundtrack. So, I haven't done a video yet on my favorite films of all time, but Pulp Fiction is in my top 5 films of all time. I am a normie. I'm a Tarantino normie. I love Tarantino. I love Reservoir Dogs. I love this movie so much. He's just so good. And I love this soundtrack. Specifically, this soundtrack is one of my favorite soundtracks of like any movie. Listening to these songs just takes me back to that movie so quick. Because he just picked such good songs that like take you into this era, to the era of Pulp Fiction, even though I was not even alive yet. It's got Mizzaloo, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. Best surf rock song of all time. It's got Jungle Boogie, one of my favorite funk songs of all time. It's got Lonesome Town, which is always breaks my heart. Girl, You'll Be a Woman Now, which is like a classic. And then it's also in between got dialogue from the movie, like classic, iconic dialogue. So I just really want to throw this thing on because I know I'll be transported into the world of Pulp Fiction. I'll be there. I'll be in Pulp Fiction. And I need that right now. I need this. Such a good album cover. Love it. I love the retro feel. I love everything about this. And I do want to collect my favorite movie soundtracks. Joe's actually, it's already happening. Pulp Fiction. The only problem is The Shining is also one of my favorite movies of all time. And apparently getting the soundtrack for that movie is very difficult, is what I've heard. But I love The Shining, so I need to find that. And then I also got a bunch of records secondhand because I went shopping with my dad. I did a little bit of secondhand vinyl shopping with my dad. It was very cute. I don't like to vinyl shop with anyone as much as I like to vinyl shop with my dad because he just knows his taste so well. He knows music so well, and no one really knows my taste, especially like older music taste as well as him, because a lot of the old music that I like is influenced by him. So shopping with him is such a delight. Okay, go do the next one. Wow, nice. Vibes, yes. Vibes on top of vibes and super vibes. And he was able to like guide me in directions for music that I wouldn't usually pick up, but I'm excited to get to because anything that he has shown me has been great. And so I firstly got this record. It is Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield, and apparently it's got the original theme from the movie The Exorcist, which is really cool. I love horror. And apparently it's just a bunch of instrumentals, and he played a little bit for me on Spotify, and I like the sound of it, and he just said it was like a classic, you need to have it in your collection, like it's Mike Oldfield, let's go. And I was like, okay, let's go, I'm buying it. And it was like $10, right? Yeah, $10. I strongly feel like I cannot go wrong with this, even though I hardly know anything about it. And then, so the second record I got was another Dave Brubeck record. So this is Time Changes by the Dave Brubeck Quartet. And the reason I got this record was because we were in the store, we were flicking around, and I found a lot of Brubeck records, a lot of them. And I really like Dave. I really like his jazz. Time Out is one of my favorite albums of all time. So I essentially just bunched all the records I found of him together. Then I looked up like which one's the most highly rated, and then I decided to get this one. I also really like the album cover again. I love the art that are always on the front of his records, and it's just, I like collecting jazz. Chris helped me out a lot when he sent me and my dad a bunch of records. He gave me a lot of jazz as well, so I want to keep adding to that collection as much as I can with artists that I know, and I don't know many artists yet from jazz, but I'm gonna try. So yeah, I want to collect some Dave Brubeck because he is my favorite jazz artist, apart from like maybe like the classics like Miles Davis. And then I also got Herb Alpert. I did it. I think low-key my dad was crying inside, but he would never show it. This is Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. Tijuana. I think I know how to say it now. My dad would be proud of that. And it's called Going Places. My dad said that I should get this one. There's also essentially just a lot of Herb Alpert at this like secondhand record store. And I was just coming across so much Herb. I was like, Dad, this is a sign. I think it's time for me to get a Herb Alpert record because everyone keeps commenting on our videos that you should introduce me to him. And so my dad said I should get this one. I should start with this record. So we might do a little bit of a reaction to this album coming up in February. So look forward to that. I am going to be going and staying with my dad soon. So hopefully we'll be able to film some videos together. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be really cute when he shows me this guy, because I know how much my dad loves him, so we'll see. And then lastly, I got a Johnny Cash record, who is my favorite country artist of all time. I got Ring of Fire, the best of Johnny Cash, and Ring of Fire is honestly one of my favorite Johnny Cash songs of all time, so I really wanted to have it on record, and this was only 10 bucks, so I just felt like, it's Ring of Fire, already worth $10 to me, honestly, plus a bunch of other best of Johnny Cash songs. My favorite Johnny Cash songs, by the way, are like Ring of Fire, Hurt, I Won't Back Down. I think Hurt and I Won't Back Down are both covers. I honestly think he does covers so well. I love his voice. I love the atmosphere he creates. I just think he hits the emotional spots so well. Like, he makes me cry every time. So yeah, I really love him. So I want to start collecting his music as well. And I want to start with Ring of Fire just because that's been like the most prevalent Johnny Cash song in my life, like the last 3 years or so. So I really wanted to have Ring of Fire in my collection. That is all the music I've collected over the last few months, last 4 months maybe. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and you've enjoyed seeing what I'm listening to. If you have any opinions, I'm sure you do, leave them in the comments. You've just been listening to my opinions for like 15 minutes straight, so let me know some of yours, especially if it's like about an album that I seem to be like less sure of. Like, I love to learn. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and see ya when I see ya.